So we're delighted to have with us Aisling on Instagram at My Limestone Home. So do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself and your style?
Of course. Hi Dervla, nice to meet you, lovely to be here. I have the handle My Limestone Home. It started with a renovation project that my partner David and I took on 4 years ago. We own an 18th century cottage based in Maynooth that is also backed onto by a barn, and we spent the last 4 years renovating the two buildings and joining them together. I also own an interior design company called Lilac and Moss Interiors, so as you can tell, interiors is my thing. And when it comes to style, I suppose I've been described as being quite eclectic. I love colour, I love vintage, I love mixing and matching different types of furniture styles and colours, prints. Anything goes really. I suppose the crux of it is that I love mixing old and new, and that comes across, I think, when you look at our home. And also keeping me busy, I have 4 small children, so 3 small boys and a stepdaughter as well.
Lovely. So really, really busy.
Really busy, but yeah, I guess we just love it when we're not working or doing things with the kids. The house is always on the agenda.
Passion project.
Absolutely.
Yeah, lovely. So I suppose, how did you find the balance between respecting the history of the home, but also adding a little bit of a contemporary twist?
Well, it was important for us having a young family that we made the extension feel quite bright and open and fresh. Having 2 old buildings on either side of the extension, they're small stone cottages, so they can be quite dark. They have small windows, and as much as we've tried to brighten them up, we didn't want to bring that then into the new extension. So we have left the driveway side that you can see from the road, and you can see the cottage and the barn on either side. We've left them quite traditional looking, and we've gone for a galvanised steel roof on the extension as well, so that it kind of blends into the agricultural buildings and around the area. But on the garden side of the extension, we have a view out to the church next door, which was built in 1850. So we lifted the roof, we put in very tall crital windows and doors so that we have a beautiful view of the church next door that's framed. So it has that contemporary look, but it still has that nod to the old house. And we also left the walls, which are external stone-clad walls of the cottage and the barn, exposed so that you can see those while you're in the new extension. So it has that blend of old and new, and we've also exposed the beams in the new extension. So we left all the joists uncovered, and we added Georgian architraving, so around the doors and the skirting boards as well. So it all kind of links together, I think, and works really well.
Yeah, and then you mentioned as well that obviously you love a blend of old and new in terms of interior style. So how did you kind of choose, in terms of the kitchen and the living room, like how did you choose the colours that were going to go in to kind of, again, nod to the history of the home, but still create a beautiful environment?
Well, I suppose Pinterest and Instagram have a lot to answer for. They're an absolute wealth of inspiration. Really, it came down to trying to make something look kind of quite country style. So I've gone for a shaker kitchen, but I love colour, so it's a dark green kitchen, and it's been paired with a quartz countertop to bounce the light around the room a little bit. I didn't want to go for something that was very old granny's cottage, but at the same time something that was very minimalist just wouldn't have suited either. So it was trying to blend the two together. And when it came to the living room, so we have some reclaimed pieces of furniture. I've actually got a cabinet in there that was being thrown out of a bakery on the main street in Maynooth there about 6 months ago that was going into skip. That I said, no, I'll take that. So blending that with, I also have a turmeric coloured velvet sofa. So just trying to find ways between like cushions and textures, rugs, blending kind of a vintage rug that has an old design on it with a contemporary sofa, linking them together with the colours and then bringing the colour through on the wall. So in the living room in particular, we've gone for covert feather, which is such a nice neutral and it's really warming. But the room adjoining it, we have ice float on the wall, and we had the predicament of having 2 walls that were actually connected and you could see the 2 walls together, but I wanted to designate one room as a living space and one room as a kitchen dining space. So to find 2 colours that you could put together that wouldn't jar with each other was a bit of a challenge, but both of those colours look so nice together, I have to say, you know, and when the light hits them, it's quite seamless. And I know, and I have my Inkwell card here because it's the most fabulous colour. We've put that on all the windowsills, the door surrounds, we've built a shelf into the old stone, so there would have been an old red brick arch with a recess above it, so we've put a shelf in up there for books and that, and we painted that inkwell as well. So you have those touches of the same colour, so that inkwell runs through the living room, the dining space and the kitchen, so that they all tie together, and even if there's new furniture, old furniture, there's something there that binds them, and that's what makes the room feel grounded, I feel.
Yeah, no, I love the way that you have these colours that are all really warm and rich and you know, would have been of the time.
Yes, absolutely.
But you've added them into kind of contemporary environments, and obviously, like you said, your turmeric couch. It's just a real, I know you're a big fan of wallpaper as well. Yeah. So it's just a really beautiful blend and still lovely and warm because you have your exposed brick as well. So it's just a lovely way to really blend everything together. Like you said, eclectic and beautifully done.
Oh, thank you, Dervla.
Yeah. So I can't let you go without asking you what your favourite colour is with us at Colourtrend.
Well, that's actually a really hard question because there are so many colours that I've loved over the years, even in your archive collection. So as I've mentioned before, I've used Covert Feather and Ice Float. I've used Ormond Wash in my home, and they're all beautiful colours, but my favourite has to be Inkwell. It adds such a richness and a drama to any room that it's put in. It goes seamlessly with pinks, mustards, greys and whites, and it's just such a beautiful colour, and the way that it changes in the light as the day goes on, so it can look a really inky black colour, and then it can look like quite a rich blue. It's quite transformative and definitely something I'd recommend anyone try in their home.
Yeah, Inkwell's beautiful, always finds a place somewhere.
It really does, yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you for chatting with me.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And it's always good to hear about some restoration projects, some design going on, so this has been wonderful.
Thank you.